Hey y'all, welcome back to Jack's Drinkwater Southern Cooking and Barbecue. In today's video, we have amped up restaurant style Mexican rice. This Mexican rice is going to be the most flavorful Mexican rice you've ever had in a restaurant. I guarantee it. Today, I'm going to be using the Kasori rice cooker. Use your rice cooker or a Kasori, it doesn't matter. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set our rice cooker to the saute setting. Add us a little bit of oil. Let your oil get hot, and then we're going to add 1 cup of rice. Now, this is not a rice cooker rice cup. You're going to use a real cup. Now that my oil's nice and hot, we're going to add in our 1 cup of rice. Remember now, that's 1 regular cup of rice. So we're just going to toast this rice up a little bit until it gets to a light brown color. And then we're gonna add half of a red onion. So as you can see in our pot, we have a light brown toast on it. At least I hope you can see it. It's just a very light brown. And we're gonna continue to cook this rice when we put this onion in here. So that's why you don't wanna let it get too brown. We're just gonna add, this is 1/2 of a red onion. So we're gonna saute this up for maybe about 5 to 10 minutes. So we're just stirring this about, and you don't necessarily need to saute these onions up until they're translucent, but you want them until they just start to soften. Our onions are softened up a little bit. Next step, we're gonna throw in a big nubbin of, saute some garlic in here, freshly minced garlic. It's in a clump like that because I do my garlic in bulk and then I freeze it. And we'll call that maybe 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. So we'll just saute that up just for a couple of minutes. You don't want to burn your garlic. Our garlic is nice and sauteed up now. We're going to hit cancel. That's basically just canceling the saute. We're going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin. All right, next up, we're going to do 1 tablespoon of this. This is Knorr tomato chicken bouillon. All right, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of that in there. Another very important step to make this rice very flavorful. Now, you could stop at this point and then just add the water, but I find this is a very important step. Makes your rice 10 times better, but it's this stuff right here. It's made by what is it? San Marcos. All right, and it's a chipotle salsa. And man, this stuff is not only good in rice, but it's good on tacos, which what we're gonna be having tacos tonight with this rice. But I add, you can see I have some that I've used from a previous cook here. And this is about 2 tablespoons of that. So we're just gonna add that in. All right, we're just gonna give that a little stir. Make sure you get all of that incorporated in. All right, so we're still gonna add some salt, and I'm gonna show you how much salt I use, but again, salt is gonna be your preference because what I like in salt, you may not like. You might like it more salty or less salty. So what I like to do is I like to add my water in first, give it a little bit of a stir, and then add my salt, and then give it another stir. It really doesn't matter. You could throw the salt in there now. I don't know. That's just kind of anal. That's what I like to do. So that's what we're going to do. All right, 2 cups of water. Just give it a little bit of a stir. All right, and then I'm going to add some salt. All right, I'm going to add about that much salt in there. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind, so what you got to remember is that tomato bouillon already is salty, so you're going to probably need less salt than you actually think you will. So we'll give this a little stir about, and now we're ready to cook it. So on this Kasori, what we're going to do is we're going to set it to long grain white rice hard. All right, so we're going to close the lid, hit start. Our timer just went off. That took exactly 29 minutes. See if we don't fog up here. All right, that took exactly 29 minutes. I'm gonna fluff our rice now. Stand by a minute. We're gonna let this cool just a few minutes and then we're gonna give it a sample, see how we did. All right, we're about ready to sample this rice. I already know it's gonna be good, but a couple of notes here. You notice when we first opened this up and we fluffed it and whatnot, it might tend to look a little wet. But once you let it rest for like 5 minutes, it starts to kind of dry out a little bit, so you'll get more of that restaurant texture. So let's give it a little sample here. I already know it's gonna be good. Still a little hot. Fantastic. The most flavorful rice. It's not going to taste like air like most of those Mexican restaurant rice tastes kind of like air, don't you think? Okay, so guys, listen. If you don't have a rice cooker, I'm going to put the instructions to the stovetop recipe in the description. Go check that out. If you follow those directions exactly like I have them written, I promise you that rice will come out on the stove just as good as this does in the rice cooker. All right, guys, amped up restaurant style Mexican rice in your rice cooker or on your stove. Do it.